Hey, this is Jared, and you're watching Backroad Exploration, and I am so excited to be out on another adventure. It is January in Utah right now. We've been getting tons of snow, which means the mountains are chock full of snow. All of those trails are closed, and it's time to explore the desert. In addition to being out with my kids, I'm really excited because I'm on my first real official trip with the GX460, which is going to be a ton of fun. As you can see, we're in the San Rafael Swell, and man, it is beautiful. There definitely is still some snow. It's gonna get chilly tonight, but overall the temperatures are pretty mild, and it's a great time to be exploring the Swell. I'm excited because we're gonna be taking a dive into Utah history, checking out some buildings and mining history that have been here for a really long time. Let's get going. Last year, my friend Donald from Soft-Roading the West made an incredible video series about visiting and exploring in Utah. He joined up with my brother Mike and I for a few days of adventure in the Dirty Devil area, but before doing so, he did a ton of exploring in this area. After watching his series, I became absolutely obsessed with getting back to here and exploring it for myself. After looking over my GPS files of different adventures, I realized I'd been all around this area but not on this specific route, and man, I have been missing out. I was so excited to get back and check out all of the incredible things that this canyon has to offer. If you haven't already watched his series, I highly encourage it, and I'll put a link to it in the tag above. One of the most incredible things about exploring in Utah is just like how diverse of the history that you can explore within a short area. So right now we are stopped at the Lone Warrior pictograph panel. You can see the warrior back here, really cool. My guess is there were other pictographs along this huge rock wall for a long time, but over time these have been deteriorated, things like that, and now it's just this lone warrior. But one of the things that's so cool is we're really, really close to mining history and pioneer history as well, all within just a little bit, just a few miles of each other. There's just so much to explore in such a compact area. Charlotte, are you on an adventure over there?
Yeah.
Doing some scrambling? What's interesting is this pictograph panel is kind of tied into this box canyon here, and I imagine that Native Americans, probably the Fremont Indians, utilize this area to kind of camp, shelter from the wind and the storms that come through. And I'll bet if you spent a day hiking around and just exploring these cliffs and things, you'd probably find some, unmarked pictographs, as well as, maybe some, arrowheads and things like that. Not uncommon to find. Make sure you leave them. We don't take anything like that away. We want other people to be able to discover them as well. But so much history just back in this one little box canyon. Making our way a little bit deeper in towards Swayze's cabin, and it's definitely getting quite a bit snowier. Luckily, it's a little hard pack. Looks like someone has been through maybe a few days ago, and then there's just kind of some new fresh snow on top. So it's pretty hard and nice and easy to get over. Makes it really actually pretty fun, smooth driving. Back behind me here, you can see Swayze's cabin. The Swayze family have a ton of history here in the San Rafael Swell. In fact, several very famous spots are named after them. Swayze's Leap is a gap in the canyon where one of the brothers jumped his horse over. You've got Swayze's Arch. And then you have this cabin. It was built in 1921, and I believe that their family was kind of in this area from the late 1890s into the early 1900s, basically running cattle and really trying to cut a life out of this incredibly hostile but beautiful terrain. Just incredible the condition that this is still in, and unbelievable that people utilize this as a nice little outpost for cattle ranching. See the door, it's come off, but still it's got its hinges here. Nice little shelter. Not a bad view out the back window either. It is 4:30. We got a little bit of a late start, but we've had a good, few hours here of exploring, and I want to get to camp and start getting things set up before it gets completely dark. Back near the pictograph panel, I found a cool little campsite. So we're gonna make our way back to there and get camp set up. Hopefully I'll be able to capture a little bit of that before it is dark. It's kind of in this nice little box canyon with a bunch of really cool rock formations all around it. This is gonna make a great campsite. Look at that, this amazing rock formation back behind me. So cool. There's probably a nice little flat spot right there. We can put up the tent. Beautiful views, basically all directions. I love it. See what all falls out. It is tight in here. Oh, cooler's trying to come down. There we go, Molly's out. As you can see in the back of this, we are packed in here like sardines. Molly's been chilling over here. She is happy to be out. Now with the Jeep, I always had a roof rack, so I'd put my bins up on top of there. That frees up the back a lot. I will be getting a roof rack for the GX. I don't have one yet, and because of that, man, it was a tight fit in here. Now the one positive is the cargo area here is quite a bit bigger than the Jeep. It's like 30% bigger, so I actually was able to fit more stuff, but it is definitely packed in here. Just when you're done helping him. Get the sleeping pads and stuff in. Losing daylight now, probably have maybe 20 more minutes of light, but we've got camp all set up. I'm gonna start working on dinner. The only downside about this camp is we're really not that far from I-70, and I can definitely hear the freeway. It's not bad, it's not like it's gonna keep us up or anything, but it doesn't give you that, like remote zero noise experience that I'm often looking for. The plan originally was to make it about 20 miles further into the swell and camp at this area that looks like maybe there are kind of some cliffs that look over a little valley, but with kids and stuff, things take forever, multiple potty breaks on the way to get here, and it just took us longer. So this is a beautiful spot, no regrets about that. Gonna get some dinner going and enjoy the evening with the kids. Saturday morning, and Wyatt and I are out doing a little bit of hiking around camp, just trying to check out some of these rock formations that surround it. And man, this is why people come to the San Rafael Swell. There's just these beautiful formations in all directions. We have a nice, beautiful campsite down there. It's gonna be a really good day of adventure, and I'm loving these views. Let's go check them out. You all right? Well, until I figure out my table setup for the GX, this is my improvised table. Really, there just wasn't enough space for me to throw the table in where I normally throw it, with having all of the bins inside instead of on the roof. So I said I'd use the bins. It's a little low, it's not super convenient, but it'll work. So for Christmas, the boys got some little, 100th scale Jeeps for some off-roading. I thought they'd be fun. They pack, they're, fairly compact, so we can bring them on our adventures, give them something to do around camp. And man, in a little rocky area like this, we have some big cliffs and stuff. Pretty cool. Well, the temps today are a little bit cooler than I was hoping for. The kids are all frozen. I've got them in the car just with the heater on while I pack up the tent and start packing up the GX, and we'll start heading out on an adventure. Well, packing everything up in the snow took a while, but we've got a good 4 or 5 hours of adventure that we can do. I'd been in this area, but we're going to drive a couple of miles down the trail and then head down some trails that I have never been on before and get into some places in the swell that I've been wanting to see for a very long time. As you can see, just, man, the views are so good. I could literally just stop and film absolutely everything and we would never get there. Every corner I turn, I just see something new that I'm in awe of, and man, it's so much better than I even imagined, and I had a really good idea that it was going to be amazing, and I'm just so glad we're here. Look at that. So cool.
Oh, I reached the mining field. Oh, it actually opened that. Are we gonna get out? Oh.
I was saying yesterday that one of the things I love about the San Rafael Swell is that there's just so much history and different incredible pieces of history throughout time. And that has to include the uranium mining time period. Now, the San Rafael Swell's had a bunch of different mining. There's a lot of coal mining that took place in here. But during the early 1900s, mid 1900s, especially kind of around World War II and stuff, there was a lot of uranium mining taking place that was subsidized by the government. So uranium mining, has only been super profitable when the government was paying a lot of money for their uranium. And so, people were staking claims throughout the Utah desert. It sounds like this one was done in the late 1940s, and it was an open pit mine. And now there's just the leftover buildings, a few shafts and things I believe that have been closed down because uranium is a radioactive material. So they don't really want you kind of messing around in them and stuff, but you're safe to come and look and check things out. It's just so much history back in here. There's several different buildings, and then also some kind of like storage building huts that are built into the walls and things like that. I'm sure if you spend a bunch of time just kind of hiking around in here, you would see a bunch of the remnants of the mining. There are a lot of, leftover pieces of metal and stoves and things like that that are original to the mine. Really cool to look at and stuff, but as always, that's stuff that we want to leave here so that people can check it out and enjoy it into the future. Definitely worth coming all the way down here to check out the Lucky Strike mine. What we're standing on, my guess, is what was the open pit portion of the mine that's been filled in. That's what it kind of looks like to me, but certainly not a uranium mining expert. Well, we just rolled up on this really cool old desert relic. There's this old truck that's back behind me. It's got the front fenders and the cab. It looks like the body and the rails are gone. And then back there is the engine that went to it. Probably just broke down and they just said, "Yep, not coming out to grab it." You can see now, pretty patinaed, full of bullet holes, but a pretty cool little piece of history. Look at that massive arch. We are far away. That thing is huge. This is Audew Arch. Oh my goodness. Behind me is the Thomas Butte uranium mine, and it's so interesting because you come up over this hill over there and you can see Audew Arch, and we were so focused on it and just its beauty that we didn't even see all of these mining relics. There's a bunch of stuff here and then a little bit further down, so you can see there's a chute here and an opening to the mine that's been blocked off. It's graded off. But then just a few, maybe 50 yards down the trail, there's, a couple of outbuilding things like that. Looks like some storage and things. It's just amazing. We were so focused out the other side that we totally missed all of this. And this is really intact considering it's been here for like 50 years. It's pretty cool. Check this out. It's areas like this that just make me keep coming back to the San Rafael Swell. No matter how much exploring I do here, I just keep finding more and more places. In fact, I was looking over the maps for the rest of our afternoon, and there's a bunch of these really cool trails that are not part of the loop that I've built that I definitely have to come back to. But just love this type of stuff. The history that's here, so unique, fairly remote, and well worth the visit to come in and just, you know, take a step back into history. So I've heard that there's wild mustangs out here. This is the first time I've ever seen them. I thought maybe there was 20 or so, but I'll bet there's quite a bit more. I'm seeing more come out from the trees up here. There's a bunch back behind us. I'll bet there's 30 or 40 at minimum. And really pretty, a couple of colts and yearlings, things like that. So the herd is growing. You can see several of them are tagged, so I'm sure BLM is monitoring this herd to basically they make sure they don't get too big so that you know, they can't actually like out eat what they can, you know, healthily survive through. Well, right now we are just flying up McKay Flat Road. I'm estimating that we will hit I-70 right as it's getting dark. This adventure has been incredible. I love showing off some of these places to the kids and exploring a bunch of new places myself. And man, all I saw along the trail today were places I want to come back to. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you would share it with a friend as well. And if you want to follow me on the day-to-day, you can do so on Instagram at Backroad Exploration. Thanks for watching.